What's going on, guys? It's Matt. Tonight I wanted to make a video that was a bit different. Instead of like doing a ghost reaction video or something that I'd normally do, I actually wanted to talk about some of the paranormal experiences I've had throughout my life. Regardless if you feel these are real or not, or if you believe in ghost stuff, that's your own judgment. I can't tell you what to believe or what not to believe, but I will say this. I would swear on a stack of Bibles, this literally happened to me. And stuff like this happened for quite some time throughout my life. And even to people that didn't believe in ghosts, that were with me, and something would happen, and then they would believe in them after that. Enough rambling. I'm going to go in and get right into it. Regardless whether you feel these stories are real or not, I promise this did happen to me, and these stories are real. This is my perspective from things. If you don't believe in ghost stuff, I understand why. I wish I didn't. But let me just start and try and like put up a timeline here. This goes all the way back to when I was like 12 years old. I remember the first time I swear I heard something like literally, sorry, I have an itch. I swear I heard something literally in my ear say Matthew. And it straight up said my name. It freaked me out. There was no one in the back of the hallway. It was weird. I was just a kid and I heard my name being said to me and no one was in my room. But, brush it off. Maybe like someone like my mom or grandma or someone yelled my name from out in the living room or their room or something. But when I went and asked, nobody had called my name, but I didn't know what else to think, I was like, that sounded like it came from my room. Oh, fucking cats. They always scare me. Around that same time period, there was an incident where my mom claims she had seen something that was more like a black shadow figure, and she had told me about it. I remember I was in like 7th grade, and it was just really weird, like, to hear, like, her tell me, like, well, I thought I saw, like, a ghost of something. And when your mom tells you that, it's like, okay, well, if you're seeing something weird, I'm also hearing weird stuff. Like, that's kind of weird. Go play kitty. From then on out, not too much actually happened after that. I would say a good 3 years before the next real incident that I could remember something happening. So, fast forward to 2009-ish. I'm like 15 years old. And me and my best friend Lehman were literally sitting out on the back patio. And we were smoking. And I know he was of age. I wasn't. But long story short, that's besides the point. We hear gunshots. And I'm like, no, that was a car backfiring or something. That wasn't gun. He's all, Matt, I know guns. And he did know guns at the time. And he still does know guns. But I'm saying even as a younger kid, Lehman did know guns. I did not. I'm still not too familiar with guns. But he's like, Matt, those were fucking gunshots. I know. And I was like, all right. He jumps up on a rock and is looking over the brick wall. He's like, I see nothing. I see nothing. And next to him, I see a figure start to form. It has nothing from the waist down, only waist up is visible, and its jaw just kept dropping as its hand just reached out at me. It was the freakiest fucking shit ever. I remember hitting my cigarette and just fucking shaking like that because I was standing like 10, 15 feet away from Lehman, and I saw that. I just turned around, walked away. I'm like, oh man, I don't want him to fucking go back to school, telling like everybody like, oh, that Matt kid's fucking weird. Yeah, he said he saw a ghost next to me at his house. I just brushed off, instantly walked back to the sunglass store. When I turned back around, he's going like this. He hits the brick wall. He books it back to me, and he's freaking out. He's like, it's ghost shit, it's ghost shit. I just got fucking pushed. I was like, holy fucking shit, dude. I wasn't even going to tell you, but I swear to God I saw something next to you. He's like, let's get the fuck inside. Like, and I've never seen this guy cry before. Maybe like once in our entire like lives. Other than this one time, he literally teared up over this incident. It was weird. Don't really know what I saw. Don't really know what made those sounds of the gunshots. And he says that whatever pushed him, he says, I've been in a lot of fights, Matt. I've never, ever been pushed with the force that pushed me with. He said the touch was ice freaking cold. And I'll just never forget the way he described that to me. It gives me fucking chills down my back just thinking about it. So after that was like the real main incident that was like, holy shit, like fucking paranormal activity is real. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck was that? Okay, I'm really tripping out right now. Ooh, I have chills from my head to my fucking feet. I'm gonna try and make this fast. Fast forward a few years later, I'm like 16, 18-ish. I think I was actually in adult school at this time. And I wasn't of drinking age, but I was drinking a Four Loko with a different buddy of mine at the time. I don't really hang out or talk to this person that much anymore. But I was at his house, and we were splitting a Four Loko, because at the time I used to drink, I don't anymore. And the Four Loko, we were splitting it because it was like, you know, one of those strong drinks, and we were still fucking young and dumb. I set it on his fucking, like, there's like a barbecue, like a little grill, and there's like the little side piece for that. I set the drink down, and like, this is the first drink. We're just splitting the one drink. Well, we had two, but we're like, let's just split it, and if we're good off that, we're good off that. So we open it up, we split that first drink. He walks off into the yard somewhere to go piss, and I'm talking like, his dad had a huge backyard, and he walked really far out into the freaking yard. And I'm over here by the patio, and I see an arm reach out from around me, and it just sways the drink all the way to literally the edge of the fucking barbecue, like, grill's, like, side. And this drink is just sitting on the edge. And I'm like, and I said, Aaron, what are you doing? And I realized, like, wait, Aaron wasn't wearing the type of jacket that arm had on. And I all came, like, to my senses, like, all at once. And I looked, and Aaron's way the fuck out there. I'm just like, oh my fucking God. And I dropped to the ground. I'm freaking out at this point. He didn't see nothing, or experience anything. So it's like, I don't really have a real, like, you know, like, oh, eyewitness like I do with the first situation. But this next situation I do. And this is actually an old fucking house, and literally an older part of this town or city. And this house is literally just like a small little kitchen, small little bathroom, small little living room, a staircase that goes up to a one bedroom. And that is the whole house. And I had some friends that used to live in that house. That house is still standing today, but it barely looks like it's standing. But one night I went over there, and my friend Devin, he had just seemed like a little kind of just on edge, like, not on edge, but more kind of just like, oh man, I'm glad you're here. Like, I just fucking hate being here alone. Like, you could just tell he was being bothered by something, like, but he didn't really know what. And he goes to put his phone on the charger. I remember this so vividly. And like, it was just like a small little, like, area of a house, you know, like where it had cornered, and there was like the couch right here, and there was a small little wooden ledge, and half the house was like brick, and the other house had like, where the rest of the house would like kind of like lead off into like hard wood. And where the brick was, there was like this little wooden ledge built into the inner part of the house. And below that was a phone charger, but like way below that. And it was like too far for like the phone charger to really sit up and sit up there and reach. So when he plugged his phone in, he would just set his phone on the ground to charge. But as he's plugging his phone in, I literally just got there like 2 minutes. It's just him and I there. We're waiting for our moms to get home from wherever the fuck they were out at. And his mom had like this small little figurine totem pole that was like a carved little fucking totem pole statue. It stood maybe about a foot tall. And I'm not joking when I say I saw this thing fucking swipe and fly and hit him in the head. And he's like, oh, what the fuck? And I was like, dude, that thing just flew off the wall and hit you in the head. He's like, bro, there's something weird about this place, man. I'm not even joking. And there was another incident. Now, I was not here for this incident. I did not see this incident. It is just my mom's word, his mom's word, and my brother's word. So my mom and my youngest brother go over there, and it's just my friend's mom there, which my mom is friends with. And they were like all hanging out down here in the bottom part of that little house where it's just like the living room, the kitchen, the bathroom, and then the top is the one bedroom. Well, they're all down here, and my mom and Mary, I don't know what they needed to talk about, but they told my youngest brother Adam to go upstairs. And as he's sitting there and he's playing, I guess, like the Xbox or whatever system they had up in the bedroom, he said he just starts to feel really freaked out, and he just wanted to come down. He's like, hey, guys, is it okay if I come down yet? They're like, oh, yeah, we forgot, yeah. And then they're like, actually, we're going to come up there. I need to get something out of my room. So my mom's friend and my mom both go up there. Like, after Adam had already came back down, but then they all go right back up there. And then that's when Mary's like, oh, my God, what'd you do to my room, Adam? He's like, I didn't do this. It wasn't even like this. And my mom's like, Adam, why'd you? And she's like, no, I believe him. I believe that he didn't do this. And so basically what had happened was every fucking drawer was pulled out and all clothes were scattered throughout the whole fucking home. Again, I'm getting fucking chills just talking about this. This shit freaks me. It's like too much fucking like, okay, like what the fuck is going on really? Because like I'm not lying, I'm not tripping. Other people are having these experiences around me too. But then I have a lot of people, like my grandparents, who just absolutely don't believe in anything like that of a sort. My cousins don't believe in anything like that of a sort. My friend Lehman didn't even believe in ghosts until that had happened to us. And since then, there was a time where I was asleep at his house, and him and my other friend at the time were awake still. A friend at the time, but they were awake. I was asleep. And as they looked out into the back alley, they had like a chain link fence, and they said they saw a fucking girl levitating. And like, I don't know, like they just told me this, so maybe they were trying to freak me out, but they swear, Lehman still swears by it to this day, like he fucking saw a fucking floating ghost girl. And you know, as crazy as that sounds to me, like how did you see a fucking floating ghost girl? I think back to the one time where like, fuck, I saw a fucking thing push this guy though. So it's like, you know, I've seen stuff before. It just, when you hear it from somebody else, it's like, that didn't happen. So it's like, I get where my stories might not be too believable, and I'm trying to explain them as detailed as I physically can. But those are some like the main freaking like really weird moments. And I've had some really weird moments actually recently as well. One moment was when my grandpa was sitting in his chair and my kids were sitting at the dinner table, and I was literally making like burritos, and my wife was at work. She had made like tacos and beans and rice the night before, so I was putting the beef and the beans in a tortilla and making them into like grilled burritos, and I was feeding that to the kids after school. It was like 4 o'clock in the middle of the day. Sun was still out, everything. Excuse my voice, I'm got a little cold. But anyways, this frying pan, and I don't know why I didn't take out my phone. I don't know why I didn't record, take a picture, like anything. But I straight up saw this frying pan just like a ice hawk, like, or a ice, like the hockey table, like the air hockey table thing would move. It just fucking like from the front burner to the back burner. And I'm like, is there like butter underneath it? Is there a plate? I pick it up. I'm like, I set it back down. I try shoving it with my hand. It doesn't go. I try shoving it with my hand. It doesn't go. I'm like, I can't figure out how it did it. It makes no sense how a fucking frying pan with a full ass burrito would move from the front burner to the back burner. And I watched it do it. Like, I'm just like, I was just in shock. I just didn't know what to do. I'm like, is this really moving by itself right now? I I don't even know why shit like this happens to me. I genuinely don't. It's so fucking freaky. And another incident that has also happened recently, and I think this is the most recent incident, is when my wife was at work, my kids, my mom, and everybody else was all like at my brother's, and my grandparents were all out at dinner, and just like everybody was gone. I was literally home alone. But my wife was on her lunch break, and when she used to work at her old job, she would get like an hour long lunch break. And so I'm on the phone with her, and as I'm like walking right here, the door right over here just, well, actually, what happened was I had shut all the doors because I started getting freaked out, like I'm like, fuck, I feel like I started feeling uneasy, I didn't know what I was feeling. I just didn't like it. So I shut that door and I shut that door. And the dogs were out here with me. And my mom's dog went to her room and scratched at her door. And nothing. And she scratched at her door. And then the door handle twists, open, and opens about like this much. And I was on the phone with my wife when that happened. And I was freaking out on the phone. I was like, no, this is not just freaking happen. And like I was like, the door just opened by itself. And the dog wasn't barking. I like hurried up, pushed the door open, flicked on the lights. Like he just walked, trotted to the bed, hopped up on the bed like nothing. And it was just, that was actually the same door that both one of my mom's other dogs and our other dog were both staring in. So I mean, maybe there is something kind of connected to that room or something, considering that happened like a year or two ago, and then just like a week ago, two dogs were just fixated on the fucking doorway, like if something was standing in it. Like the second someone walked past them, they like looked at the person who walked past them, and they just went back to being fixated on the door, like if someone was standing in the doorway. Fucking cats. God damn, my voice is so bad. Unfortunately, I don't have like any video footage whatsoever of anything that had happened to me ever with paranormal experiences, so like I wish I had something to show for it, but all I have is just the story to tell. And I'm not expecting everyone to believe this. It doesn't matter to me if you believe it or not. I know what happened, and I know this happened. I just wanted to share what paranormal stories had happened to me in my life. But that's probably going to be it for tonight, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.